Hi, it's me JD and welcome back to my channel. This video is a follow-up video to the other dollar store card making video I did. In that video, I tried to make handmade cards with only supplies from the dollar store. Well, I thought it'd also be fun to buy dollar store greeting cards and jazz them up with the supplies that I have on hand. Back there. Now, it's not to say that dollar store cards are bad or ugly. I'm not above getting stuff from the dollar store at all. I'm just saying that sometimes, cards can be zhuzhed up a little. And if you already have the zhuzhing supplies, why not use the zhuzh? So sit back, subscribe, and watch while I zhuzh up some greeting cards that need some zhuzhing up from the dollar store. Look, Hallmark, 2 for $1. No wonder people go to the dollar store for cards. 2 for $1, 50 cents. But are they handmade from the heart? No, they're not handmade from the heart. Dollar store has definitely stepped it up. Like this one has embossing on it. Oops, I put it in the wrong place. This one has foil too. Look at you, Dollar Tree. Stepping your game up. But I'm still on the hunt for cards that need the zhuzhing. The zhuzhing, the zhuzhing, the zhuzhing, the zhuzhing, the zhuzhing. Halloween cards, Thanksgiving cards, Christmas cards, Veterans Day cards, and Valentine's Day cards. Holy moly. Good for you, Dollar Tree. Hey there, hot stuff. I think I've seen this background pattern before as a stencil. I noticed a lot of animals in store-bought greeting cards. Hog wild over you. You're doggone fabulous. What a catastrophe. Hey tiger, have you heard? So a bear, an alligator, and a pig walk into a bar. That's it, no joke. Okay. I think we have some contenders here. Ooh, this one. I could add something fun to this one. And this one. Hi, it's me JD and welcome to the voiceover. I'm back home at my craft desk, ready to take these dollar store cards to the next level. I'll be showing a variety of card making techniques. Most are simple and easy to do, but they will still make your cards a little more special. So sit back, subscribe, and we'll jump right into the first card. An easy way to add some bling bling to your handmade cards is to get some coordinating gems or sequins or rhinestones and attach them to your card front. The dollar store actually offers really pretty and good sequins to work with. So the key to this is using a nice strong liquid adhesive to adhere all of these sequins down. You'll also want to use a liquid adhesive that dries clear. When you're gluing down sequins or rhinestones or little tiny embellishments, glue tends to ooze out of the side. So if you get a glue that dries clear, at least that'll minimize the mess. Another way to add some bling bling or sparkliness to your card is to add some foil. I'm doing this by way of a glue pen. I'm just using the pen to trace parts of the stars that I want to add foil to. Now in retrospect, this would have been a better technique to do on a surface that isn't so glossy, such as this card. A matte surface would have been much better to work with, but this still works. So once the glue dried a little, it was still a little tacky, so I took the craft foil that I have and I put it pretty side up and just start kind of burnishing that over where I put the liquid glue. This is a great card making technique if you have any scraps of foil to use up. It requires no heat and it adds a little bit of shine to your paper crafts. Again, a matte surface would have been better than this glossy surface, but it still worked out in the end. Speaking of a matte surface, adding white gel pen accents will really add a touch of whimsy and almost three-dimensionness, if that's a word, to your images on your card. I do this with my stamped images and word die cuts all the time. And so it definitely works if you have a card like this. You just take a white gel pen and just kind of round out some of the circular accents just to create a faux shine to them that makes it look glossy and more 3D. Some white gel pens work better than others. I prefer the Uni-ball gel pen. For some extra texture and dimension to your card, add a little bit of stitching with embroidery floss. So I've had this floss for a while, and since all those fun metal dies that poke holes in your card bases came out, I've been stitching on cards here and there, but I'm here to show you that you can also stitch on ready-made cards as well, just to give them that extra homemade feel. For this card, I'm adding some basic stitches, some loops, and French knots, all really simple embroidery techniques. To start off the stitching, I just poke a hole and then I come in through the back and I cut out a piece of floss to size. Then I'll take some really strong double-sided tape and tape the end of it on the inside of the card down, just to make sure it's not wiggling about or it might come out as I'm stitching. And then from there I'll do all of my stitching, my French knots, my loops, and what have you. To poke each of these holes, I'm just using the embroidery needle itself. You can also use one of those like pokey tools from Tonic or Tim Holtz. Those work well as well. So you see all of this added texture to this card, and on the inside, yes, it's a little bit of a mess, but you can easily cover that up with another piece of cardstock. If you guys have watched some of my other videos, then you know that I think glitter always makes everything better. And this time I'm going to be adding some glitter to this birthday card. I'm doing that with a glitter pen first. So you just kind of squeeze it and this liquidy liquid comes out that has glitter in it, and it's really it's a really good no mess way to add glitter and shine to your cards. You can't see it on camera, of course, but another way to add some glitter would be through the use of Shimmer Spritz. Now I just buy the ready-made stuff. You can make your own, but I just shake it up. All that glitter is in the bottle, and I shake it up and I spray my surface from about 18 inches, 2 feet, and it just sprays this fine mist of glitter onto my surface. Speaking of glitter, another way to add some glitz to your card is to use embossing powder. For this, I'm using some Versamark ink, and I'll just smush up some on the edges here just to get some shine along the edges. You can also stamp an image in Versamark ink and heat emboss that on your surface as well. While this Versamark ink is nice and wet and sticky, I'm going to pour some embossing powder right over the top. I'm using a coffee filter to catch all that excess glitter. Once I have all of that glittery embossing powder on there, I'm going to turn on my heat tool and make sure it is hot. And then when it is hot, I bring it to my surface to melt all of that powder down. You can also use a Versamarker to maybe color in some of those images and emboss those as well. A fun way to personalize a store-bought card is to add die cuts. And so for this birthday card, I'm going to add some numbered die cuts. So I have my numbered die set, and I'll place it on some glittery paper because I just cannot stop with the glitter today. And I'll run this through my die cutting machine. And once I have my die cut, this is perfect for a 6-year-old or 9-year-old birthday card. And you can do this with their first initial, perhaps an anniversary, anything that really personalizes the card for your recipient. So if you already have a die cutting machine, a good suggestion would be to have an alphabet and numerals die set ready to go. While you have a die cutting machine out, you can also add some die cut borders to your card. So I have this card here, and all of these cards are not of a size that can easily run through my Gemini Junior die cutting machine. But I'm going to attempt this anyway. So I'm getting out some border dies, and it's about 6 inches in length, which obviously does not match the size of this card. For a typical handmade card from scratch, I'm just working with a card front and then add it to a note card later. But since the note card is already here, we're just going to have to work with it. So what I decided to do is that I open the card and place the back of the card behind all of my cutting sandwich. And I'll place the die where I need to place it and run this through my die cutting machine. Remember, the die is only on the front part of the card, and the back of the card is beneath all of this sandwich cutting plate. And so when I ran it through my die cutting machine, it looked to work pretty good. And now I'll just have to shift this border die a little bit down to continue the border through the rest of the card. I'll do the same thing as I did before. I'll just put this die on one side of the card, and then I'll open the card and place the other side on the back of the sandwich so I don't end up cutting that. And then I'll put some blue painter's tape on to make sure it doesn't shift and run that through my die cutting machine. And after I pulled out my card, I realized that I did this a little bit crooked, but it still works for a card. Feels like I think it adds a very whimsical touch to the card. You can see the back of the card just peeking out a little bit, and I think it really takes this store-bought card to the next level. And that does it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching another dollar store card making video. Let me know down in the comments which of these cards do you like the best, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.